Alright, so I didn't film the actual taking the gas tank off and putting it on. I don't have the right equipment. It was kind of dark when I was doing that, so my apologies. We do have the one front tank put back on and the gas pump in it. It does run. I drove it up and down the street like twice yesterday, but it's pretty dark and I was afraid it was going to break down because, you know, I've never ran it before. It was trying to get a little hot too. Filled the radiator back up. We'll check and see if it's leaked anything out. It's definitely going to need a new radiator. It's full of rust and it's old, so, you know, they're not that expensive. And it must also have a leak because it is not in there anymore, which they did say it had a coolant leak and they weren't for sure where it was at. So step one, I'm going to go grab the garden hose, fill it back up. And once we get to the point that we know we're not going to we'll put the new radiator on, then we'll put the actual coolant back in. But for now, this will be all right. Oh. Okay. So actually, it wasn't that low. That's good. I also took the old radiator cap off and cleaned this rubber off too. They get really rusty up in here sometimes, and this seal for the return can leak. And I'm actually hoping his leak maybe was just this and blowing it back out of the overflow tank. But we'll figure that later. Right now we're going to change the oil in it. Just got some cheap Rural King oil and a cheap filter. I think it's Providence brand. I don't know. It's $15 a gallon. We'll put that in there. We'll go get some tools for it. Okay, so we'll go down here. I could jack it up, but I'd rather just be real quick and pop the old bolt out of it on the ground. And then, of course, everybody's done an oil change. That bolt comes out. We'll unscrew the filter. I'm not for sure on this engine where it's at. I haven't actually looked. And I think it's on the other side. Get that drained out, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to get some shorter tripods if I'm going to start filming undercar work, because the one I got, way too tall, even on a slow setting. So, when we get that drained out, we'll take a look at the oil, see what it looks like. Alright, so I got that filter off. See, this is one thing you always want to watch out for. See, right here, it's missing its gasket. So that means it's still stuck on the engine block, which is where a lot of people mess up when they change the oil. And because you can't even really see up in there. But just reach up in there, you'll feel it's a little piece of rubber. Pull that off. If not, it'll leak all your new oil out. So you just start it up. It'll be a bad day. And right there it is. Very important to get that off. When you get the new ones, rub a little bit of oil around that. That way, whenever next time, it won't stick. This one, you can tell it's been on there a long time. See how hard and smushed out it is? But yeah, I'll get the new one on and we'll go from there. Alright, and then this is all we're going to put back in it. We just have some 530 Providence oil. Like I said, this was $15. They have a synthetic one that's even good for the Dexos vehicles, for the newer ones, and it's only, I think, like $17. I got that new filter for it. These are actually pretty nice filters, and they're only like $3. Just a prime filter. I like it because they each have the lookup for each different brand. So if you know one brand, what you need, you can come find these at Rural King. They got a list on the box, and you just cross-reference it. And like I said, I think that Fram was like almost $10 there. $3. And honestly, I've seen these cut apart. These are actually a little bit better made than the Frams are. The Frams are, some people love them, some people hate them. You know, as long as you change your oil and filter though when you're supposed to, it's not that huge of a deal. These videos will get better the farther I go along. This primary stuff, I'm just more anxious about seeing if this truck is going to take a lot of work or not. And don't really have the stuff I need to film it great. And I'm just getting started to this whole YouTube thing. You know, it's just for fun. You know, because all the big YouTube channels, they're fun to watch and everything, but sometimes it's hard to tell exactly like how hard stuff is for them. Because, like, you know, they do it, they cut out the hard stuff, or they've been doing it for years, so they're used to it. Might start off with a project car that really is not that much of a project. This one, I don't think it's going to be that big of a project once we get a radiator, some brakes, and tires on it. But it's like anything, you never know. I mean, my parents brought a new Camaro a couple years ago, SS. They had about 5,000 miles. Engine blew up in it. It was new enough, nobody ever even spun the tires on the thing yet. I think the most we done it was drove it on the highway maybe like 5 times, and the rest was all 55-mile-per-hour roads. But yeah, so you never know. Something might be 30 years old and be perfect, or it might be brand new and be bad engine. So just gotta take it how it be. That's just like this. I'm using this cheap oil. Some people, well, you gotta buy the top name brand, or it's gonna blow it up. On oils, most important thing, right grade. 530 is what it's called for new. You could probably take thicker, but for now, I'm gonna change this out pretty soon, anyways. Just make sure it has the SAE logo on the back for the API service rating that you need, and if it meets all this, then you should be fine. Which most oils you buy from like Walmart, Rural King, all that do. The only time you get into like finding oils that don't meet the current ratings is really the really cheap stuff from like gas. Well, it's not even cheap, but the completely no-name stuff from gas stations that you've never heard of before. You gotta watch out. Watch out. Some of that stuff is pretty bad. But you know, if you're out of quart of oil, I'd rather you, no matter what you have, if you're low in oil, it's better to have clean new oil of some kind in it versus no oil. Because, yeah, if it doesn't meet your ratings, it may wear the engine a little bit faster, it might deposit some more, but as long as you know that's the problem and you get it changed back out as soon as you can, it'll last a lot longer on that than it will be if you run an engine without oil. It's taking a while. I was just this little bitty tiny funnel. It doesn't go down very fast, but there's 5 quarts. That'll be enough to start it and run it. It says 5. It might hold 6 with the filter change. I didn't look up a whole lot. I know most trucks are at least 5 quarts. So we'll take that and we'll stick you somewhere for now. Right there. I'll throw the oil cap back on it. We'll hop in, try to fire it up. See how many pistons we throw through the top of it, or rods through the bottom. Let it run for a minute, then I'll check it. If it's good, we'll take it for a little drive around while it's daytime. I'll hold you and take it with me. Alright, here we go. We'll just let it run for a second and get it circulated around. Fill the filter up. Make sure we're somewhere close. Which, I mean, knowing that I put 5 quarts in it, I'm not worried about it being so low it's going to hurt anything. We just want to make sure that we don't need to add a quart. That should be good. Let it set for a second. It shouldn't take too long for the oil to drain down, unless like now. My dad had a S10 that he bought from somebody that never changed oil in it. They just kept adding oil, and the valve covers, we took them off, and they were just caked full of tar, and it basically looked like coal dust in there. It had so much sludge built up. We had to take a screwdriver and hammer back down through the oil passages because the valve covers would fill up with oil, and then none of it would ever drain back down to the bottom. But on a normal engine that's not completely just neglected, give it 30 seconds or so just to have a chance to run the majority back down. Give it a quick check. You can see how black that oil was that was in there, and that's just the dirty that was on the dipstick. Which, as dirty as it was, I imagine this clean oil is not going to stay clean for long once it starts removing those deposits and stuff. A lot of people don't realize either, besides lubrication, your oil also has basically soap in it that cleans the engine. Alright, that's on the full mark, so we should be good. We'll close this down, make sure none of the tires went flat overnight. Make sure I still have a little bit of brake fluid. I do. I think I got one brake working on the truck, but it's enough to drive up and down the road here. And we'll back it out and go up and down the road a couple times. Let's see if that new oil and filter quieted down a little bit of what was, I think, a lifter tick or some kind of engine rattle. But we'll see. So I just realized I've been talking to a paused camera for like 5 minutes. So we'll go over a recap. Check the AC, it's blowing cold. I did put a can of Freon in it. It's gonna need some manifold gauges and all that hooked up. I just threw some in there, see if it would actually get cold, because it did have a charge in it still, it was just low. It's blowing out cool air. I think it's gonna be fine. Check engine light, it was off. It just came back on here recently when I was giving it just a little RPM. It's got a miss in it. I'm pretty sure that's what kicked that on, because it didn't come on until it started doing that. I was talking about the oil pressure gauges. It goes up and down a little bit with RPM, so it's working. So far it's not overheating. I was talking about these gauges. Fords, these are actually kind of like dummy gauges. They don't give you an exact number. They just basically, they, from my understanding, is they have 3 modes of working for these. Basically, like, it's good or it's hot. Like, this needle doesn't really move a whole lot. It'll kind of move up and down, but it's not exact like the old gauges that had the temperature. Same with the oil pressure. They're just, yeah. If you're in the normal, you're good, as long as you're, technically Ford considers it good even if it's all the way over there, but almost everyone I've ever seen is somewhere around the O on both of these or higher. Same with the voltage. We're all good. Let's talk about the gas. I'm pretty sure what happened was I'm out of gas, because I think this fuel pump might be sending it to the back tank also, or it's just the fact that I have only 5 gallons in the tank, and it's only the front tank right now, and it's mounted long ways like this. So, you know, it's a pretty long tank. Whenever I go up a hill, it leans back like that. It doesn't, 5 gallons of gas in there doesn't give it a whole lot to work with. Because on the hill up over there and over here, it wanted to die on me. But now that we're setting back on level, we're good. So I think we were just running out of fuel. I was talking about let me shut this, the engine. I don't know what that noise is under acceleration setting here. You can't hear it. You can hear it with load, so it might even just be spark knock. I know that's a thing that these engines are kind of known for, especially the newer ones. Like shoot, what came in the Crown Vics? They're smaller. They're like four somethings. I know it sounds stupid not knowing what it is, but they did it bad. And then my dad, he has a truck 1 year older than this, and it does it bad sometimes, especially on like cheap gas. I don't know, you know, all gas is the same, but like if it starts doing it bad, we'll throw some like higher octane in there and it goes away. I'm pretty sure it's just some sort of spark knock. I think they're running these motors pretty lean when they're new, and then once they get older and they start to get like a little bit of wear on them, maybe a vacuum leak here or there, that really leans them out, and I think they get some spark knock. because right here I don't hear it. I'll take you around outside too, and we'll see. It's a little hesitant on the throttle, but she's quietening down from how she was when I first started her up yesterday, which is good. It leads me to think that the motors might just have some gunk in it from setting. I mean, out here the fan and the belt noise is louder than the engine. I checked yesterday, we have like no blow-by on it. I would get it, but I can't hardly reach it on this little bit of hill I'm on, and it's pretty hot, so I'm just gonna let it chill there. But I hear some power steering whine. I know it's a little low. It's got a little bit of a leak. Here, I'll let you hear the engine. Well, hopefully it's a little bit easier to get to than this one. Of course, I guess everyone I've ever seen always has this plastic already taken off of it. Sounds quiet to me. Radiator's holding pressure, so it's not got a huge leak anywhere. I don't see anything steaming out. AC works. Alternator's charging. Power steering works. It's low. It's got a leak, I think. The brakes, they got a big leak somewhere. I filled this up thing like once already. Yesterday it was trying to overheat, but I think it had a lot of air still left in the radiator, so I filled that back up again. I'm gonna let it sit here and see if we start getting hot. Also, if you ever do get one of these Sierra trucks, they had a recall, I think, on almost all of them from this body style. The cruise control would like burn the truck down, so you always want to make sure that if you do have one of these, this is what the factory repair looks like. So this is the original wiring harness right here. They cut it loose, add a fuse into it right there, pigtail it back together, stick these labels on it saying, hey, it shouldn't burn down now, don't remove this, and then that's your repair. Make sure that your truck has this on it if you have this year and it has cruise control. If not, I would look up this little pigtail and buy it off the internet. They're not very expensive, or if you have a Ford shop somewhere close, you might swing by. They might even still honor the warranty. They're supposed to honor warranties on vehicles regardless of the age. Not warranties, sorry. Recall work. Sometimes they don't, but it's worth a shot. If nothing else, I think these are like 15 bucks. You could probably make one yourself if you wanted to. So yeah. Alright, I'm going to cut this off and sit here and let it run for a while, see if it gets hot, and if it's not, I'm going to shut it down, close the thing up for the night, call it good. Temperatures went up a little bit, but not bad. That's to be expected just sitting here. So we'll see. We'll see. Alright, well, catch you next time, guys. Next time we might try to get the fuel pump off from the back tank, get that put back up, and if that one works too, then we might try to get several gallons of gas and put some in each of these and ride around the roads more. I can't go very far. Like I said, I don't have the title's not in yet for it. Still waiting on the courthouse. I gotta get insurance license plate for it before we actually before any of that get on the road. We gotta get 4 new tires, because these are hanging on. One of them, you can see the wires sticking out where it's starting to separate. But it's a shame though, because they were all pretty much like brand new tires when they ever got set. But tires don't last long, especially setting in the yard, not getting driven, not driving them. So when you drive a car, the rubber in the tire flexes, and that helps keep all the natural oils and basically all the chemical compounds that's in the tire from like working their way out and evaporating, basically, is the best I can put it. That's why if you ever notice, like if you wash a car tire, like even if you don't put any kind of tire shine on it, they have kind of like a greasy texture on the outside that's kind of like like it collects dirt. And it's just the oils and the other solvents that's in the rubber. It eventually works out, but when you're not driving, it just basically comes out faster. I'm not for sure a better way to say it than that, but yeah. Yeah, I have to say that must have been what was happening, because it's fine now. Alright, here we go. Let's see if we can get to the church and back before it blows up. I gotta remember I have almost no brakes on it, but I think I got enough to stop a little bit. Yeah, I got a little bit. It's got a little bit of a rattle of some kind in it. I don't know if it's a lifter or what. Maybe it'll clear up. We might have to do a little engine work. Who knows?